Either choose one side, burn the bridge, and call it a day. And that's how you actually stick to the new identity that you want to take on, that desired identity. What does that person do on a typical day-to-day basis that allows me to reach my goals? And by doing this, you completely get rid of the thought of inconsistency and watch till the end, and you'll know exactly how you should navigate being inconsistent. So being inconsistent comes from a couple of things, really. So it comes from regression of self, and regression of self is a situation where you've kind of become comfortable and complacent in a sense where if you're in a situation that you think is okay, but you're willing to accept mediocrity. So for your life, it could simply just being working and not going to the gym, right? You think it's fine because obviously it's like whatever, you'll just go on like walks or you'll just eat less food or whatever. But you're not tackling the core issue. The core issue is not doing it entirely, having random days, bursts of motivation. That's where the inconsistency from the foundation needs to be built up. See, that inconsistency comes from you having no emotional ties to where you want to go, because the subconscious is rooted from emotion. So the subconscious mind is basically when you're asleep, when you're not consciously awake is when the subconscious, and that's most of where our actions come from, not from what we think we should be doing. It's what comes from our emotional part of the brain that leads to action, that inevitably knows what we're going to be doing, right? And you have to align this to your goal. So you must have an emotional charge towards something that's deep enough for it to spark your subconscious to act in complete alignment with where you want to go. And the inconsistency is the fact that you don't have an actual particular goal right now. Like your goal is to just be healthy, to just do this, to just do that. But it's not a strong enough claim, right? So that's the inconsistency number one. The inconsistency number two is you've just compounded L's. You've compounded L's for so long, especially on your physique, to the point where you think that you can immediately just get it all back in like a space of a couple of months, a couple of weeks. No, you've compounded L's in terms of you've been eating at a surplus for a decade plus, even longer perhaps for certain people. That's going to take time. That's going to take time to obviously remove all the visceral and subcutaneous fat you've stored on your body for a very long time. Because, 1 pound of fat is literally 3,500 calories. So you have to put yourself in a deficit if you want to lose 1 pound of fat per week. And that's like the average. Some people go aggressive and obviously fall off a cliff because that's not consistent to lose more than a pound a week. You can. It just depends on your time frame and obviously your stage. So you want to compound it in the opposite direction, right? You've compounded it in a negative direction, which essentially has put you in a situation where you don't feel confident, you don't feel yourself or your most authentic, vibrant self, because internally you know that you don't look your best. See, there's a different aura, a different vibration you give off when you look your absolute best. You can't just like completely disregard that fact. If you had abs right now, if you were the leanest version of yourself, you had more of an angular face, you can't tell me you wouldn't have more confidence. Your confidence would just exude out of you. And that's the point I'm trying to make. So that's the other inconsistency. The next inconsistency is not having a strategy. See, when you don't have a strategy, you don't have numbers, metrics, guidelines to go off, then you can't strategically advance, right? You can progressively know the percentage in which direction you're going. This could be having certain caloric outputs on certain working out days, or just really counting your calories for a couple of weeks. People fight the idea of counting calories so much, but it doesn't. Not counting calories is literally what's holding you back from having the best physique you can ever possibly imagine. And listen, you don't have to count calories for the rest of your life, because things are seasonal. A lot of people think you have to do all this for the rest of your life. No, you adapt, you get better, you become more efficient. And just like that, with counting calories, you literally memorize. If you eat the same food to get you in shape, your favorite foods that you can eat to get in shape, you will literally memorize how many calories that is, and you'll just eyeball it. Like, literally, you just eyeball it. And having strategies in place makes it a million times easier. On my working out days, I will eat 3,200 calories. And then on my days I'm not working out, I'll eat 2,500 calories. And obviously that still gets me within a deficit throughout the week. I'm just obviously losing fat as well. And that's the goal, man. It's just, you don't want to make things seem harder than what they are, because it never is. What I'm noticing about life is just systems, emotional regulation, and just action. And if you apply that into just every area of your life, it's just going to 10x your body, your mindset, people around you, your current environment. It just skyrockets. But I hope this helped. If you like this video, do hit the like button and comment whatever you're feeling about the video. And peace out, guys.